SkyTrak Plus, Mevo Plus. If you've got $3,000 to spend, these are probably the two launch monitors you are considering. They're both excellent. In fact, these are my two favorite launch monitor simulator solutions on the market. But they each go about things in a different way, and they each have some different pros and cons. So in today's video, that's what we're doing. I'm explaining all of the pros and cons. We're gonna go through about a dozen different categories, and we're gonna figure out which one excels where, and at the end, hopefully you are going to have a decision on which one is right for you. To put it out there right now, there is no wrong choice. These are both excellent, but there is a right choice for you and your needs, and that's what we're gonna try and get to the bottom of. So if that sounds interesting, you're ready to figure out which one is right for you once and for all, keep watching. That's what we're doing in today's video. Real quick, if at the end of this video you're still not sure one of these devices is right for you, go take our 30-second launch monitor quiz. You're gonna answer 4 or 5 questions about what you are looking for, and I'm going to give my best recommendation based on what you need. I think it's gonna be super helpful and might help make this decision a little bit easier for you, so click the link below, go check it out. First up, we're talking packaging and presentation, and with both the SkyTrak and the Mevo, the packaging is fine. It's nothing special. It's not like you're like, oh my God, they spent hundreds of dollars making this the coolest package ever that I feel so special opening this. It's like you open it up, the devices are there. It looks good, it's got everything it needs to have, but it's nothing over the top or fancy or anything like that. So no one's gonna be disappointed about it, you're just not gonna think about it. You're gonna open it up, see the device, that's how it's gonna feel. And so for that reason, in this category, it's a tie. Second category, size and portability, and this one's pretty obvious for a couple reasons. The Mevo Plus takes the cake. For one, it's a lot smaller and it's a lot lighter. So if you are on the go, if you're taking it back and forth between your house and the range, it's definitely easier to carry. But more than just the size and the weight is the fact that the Mevo Plus comes with this. It comes with a carrying case. So you can pop it in, you can put it in your golf bag, it's super easy, it's protected. The SkyTrak, for $3,000, it doesn't come with any sort of carrying case. The only thing it comes with is a little nylon bag for your USB cables. But I would personally rather protect this than my USB cables. So it's a little disappointing there's not a better way to make this more portable, and for that reason, the Mevo Plus gets the point in this category. Next up, we are talking network setup. And the good news is both of these are generally pretty easy to set up. You download the app, whether you want to connect it to your iPad, your phone, a PC, it's pretty easy to do, but there's one that just kind of takes the cake, and that is this. The SkyTrak Plus, generally speaking, is easier to set up than the Mevo Plus. Its network mode works seamlessly. So if you're at home, you connect it to your Wi-Fi, you connect your device to the Wi-Fi, and all of a sudden, boom, it's connected with a rock-solid connection. While the Mevo Plus is also excellent and easy to use, I just haven't found the network compatibility to be quite as seamless as it is with the SkyTrak. When it comes to setting up your devices, the network is just one part of it. So the next category is alignment setup, and again, this one in a big way is going to go to the SkyTrak Plus. One of the biggest Achilles heels to the Mevo Plus is its alignment setup. Once it is set up and aligned properly, it works phenomenally and is very accurate. But compared to other launch monitors I've tested, you've got to spend a little bit of extra time really dialing it in, making sure everything is perfectly aligned if you want to get the most accurate results. Whereas with the SkyTrak, I found you pretty much just set it down in front of you, you place the ball where the little laser points to, you hit it, and you're more or less good to go with accurate results. So when it comes to the ease of alignment and the time spent doing it, the SkyTrak is definitely easier and definitely faster, so it gets the point. Next category is simulator compatibility. So both of these can function as at-home golf simulators and do a very good job of it. However, there is one that gives you more flexibility and more options as far as what simulator software you can use, and that is the Mevo Plus. With the Mevo Plus, you can use E6, you can use Awesome Golf, you can use GS Pro, and a number of other devices. So regardless of which software experience you like best, there's a good chance the FlightScope is compatible with it. It is one of the most compatible launch monitors on the market. Don't get me wrong, the SkyTrak is very good. It has E6 compatibility as well as including some very good courses on E6, which is a nice bonus. It also has WGT compatibility, but honestly, my experience with that has been kind of so-so. Once this gets Awesome Golf, once this gets GS Pro without having to kind of hack it, then it's definitely going to be up there, but for as it sits right now, when it comes to simulator compatibility, the FlightScope is the winner. Next category, app experience and user interface. Now, the good news is both of these are excellent. Between the two of them, I think they have the best app experience on the market. Now, they differ in a few ways. I think the SkyTrak is the more beautiful experience. The user interface is the best. It feels clean, it feels modern, it is wonderful, and it's a joy to use. The FlightScope is also very easy to use, but additionally, the FlightScope is a little bit more customizable. You can really make the FlightScope data do whatever you want it to do. And so if you want to dumb it down and only see a couple metrics, make it very consumer friendly, you can do that. If you want it to be super pro and feel like a TrackMan and have all the data points, you can do that, and I love that customizability. So while the SkyTrak Plus has the sexier, sleeker, more modern appearance, the Mevo Plus is more customizable and allows you to kind of make the app whatever you would like. So when I look at all this as a whole, it's a wash. They're both excellent, they're both some of the best out there, and so they both get points here. Okay, big one here. Which of these is the most accurate? So the reason these two devices are as popular as they are is because they are among the most accurate golf launch monitors in their price range. So they're both between $2,000 to $3,000. You can get the Bushnell Launch Pro, which is more accurate in my testing, which can come in around $3,000. It just has a much higher subscription fee, so the total cost of ownership is a little bit higher than all of these, so we're not talking about that. So between these two, which is the most accurate? I'm going to give the nod to the SkyTrak, which kind of surprised me. So again, when set up correctly, both of these are equally accurate. They're both great, they're both phenomenal, as you would expect for devices that cost into the thousands of dollars. But going back to the alignment and setup issue we talked about with the Mevo Plus, if it is not set up properly, it will give you some inaccurate numbers. So you have to take that time to make sure that everything is good. If you set it up in your garage and you've got a home setup, then great. You set it up once, you spend the time to do it, it won't be an issue. But if you like to take it back and forth between the range, your home, your backyard, and you're always setting it up every time you use it, that can add up. And if you don't spend that time, you may not be happy with your numbers. Whereas the SkyTrak, it's pretty much set it, forget it, it's easy, and I have had very accurate results from the beginning. So while when they're both set up properly, I think it's a tie. I think they're both the most accurate, but because it is easier to get set up properly, I'm giving the nod to accuracy for the SkyTrak Plus. Next up, space constraints. While both of these have similar features in the sense they both use cameras and they both use Doppler radar, where they're placed and how they're set up within a simulator setup is a little bit different. So the SkyTrak, you want to place 8 feet behind you and you need at least 8 feet of ball flight in front of you. So in order to use this properly, you're going to need at least 16 feet, and the reality is that's quite a bit of space if you were setting up something at home. Alternatively, the SkyTrak, instead of placing behind you, you place right to the side of you. So if I line up here, I put the SkyTrak right here, I hit my golf ball like this, so you don't need any space behind you, so you really only need about 8 to 10 feet of space in order to make this work properly. So honestly, if you're someone who has space constraints and your primary purpose for using this is going to be at home, then this is probably going to be the one you want to pick up, just simply because it's the one that's going to fit. Because the SkyTrak needs quite a bit less space than the Mevo Plus, when it comes to space constraints, the SkyTrak Plus wins this round. All right, we got a big one now, price. So the price on the SkyTrak Plus is $2,995. And for that, you're pretty much getting all of the metrics for one price. The Mevo Plus, on the other hand, it comes in at $2,199, and you can often find it on sale for closer to $1,800, $1,900, which really, that's over $1,000 difference. That is a huge deal. But of course, there's a caveat. In order to get some of the club data, specifically the D-plane suite, so things like club angle, face to path, face to target, things like that, you are going to need to get the FlightScope Mevo Plus Pro package, which costs $1,000. Now there's often sales on this, and you can use our discount code below to save on both the Mevo Plus as well as the Pro package, but when you upgrade, that's putting the price closer in line with the SkyTrak Plus. On top of that, there is an additional package you can get if you have the Pro package, which is called Impact Detection. That's going to show you where exactly on the club face the ball hits. It works really well. It is very cool, and the SkyTrak Plus can't do that at all. But if you get the Mevo Plus, plus Pro package, plus Impact Detection, then all of a sudden the price is higher than the SkyTrak. Personally, I like the way they do it a la carte. If you don't need all that fancy club path data, then great. You can get in for under $2,000 and have a world-class launch monitor and simulator. If you want all of that stuff, if you're a teaching pro, if you're a club fitter and you want to get some of that data, then great. Do the add-ons and spend a little bit more money. So even though at its priciest, this is more than the SkyTrak Plus, the fact you can get into it for over $1,000 less than the SkyTrak, that makes me give it the nod, and this one wins the price category. Everybody's favorite topic is next, and that's subscriptions. We just talked about price, but as with many products out there these days, there are also annual subscriptions. With the SkyTrak Plus, there are two different subscriptions. There's a $130 package, which is mostly going to unlock a few extra modes. Some challenge modes, bag mapping, wedge matrix, some of these features that are actually really useful. You're gonna have to spend an extra $130 a year to get that. Also, if you are using a third-party simulator solution that is not E6, in order to use it at all, you have to spend the $130. So you can't just buy this and then go buy some third-party simulator that's compatible with and use it. And right now, there aren't that many third-party options that are compatible with it, but if in the future, you have to keep that in mind, you have to spend at least $130 a year. There's also a $250 package, which includes your E6 access. So if you're planning to use this as a simulator and you want it to basically work out the box, expect to spend $250 a year on their simulator package. Meanwhile, Mevo Plus, it doesn't have a subscription at all. It's one of my favorite things about this. It's one of the only launch monitors out there that doesn't have a subscription, and I hope they keep it that way because it's one of the main reasons to buy it. So this one is a no-brainer. The point here goes for the Mevo Plus. Next category, responsiveness. You hit the ball, how quickly will it register on the screen and give you your data? Well, the Mevo Plus is almost instantaneous. It is very fast, and the more I've used it, the more I've gotten used to it. That's one of my critiques of the SkyTrak, is the fact that it isn't quite as instantaneous. It takes a half a second for once you hit the ball, there's a pause, and then you see the ball take off. I've talked to a lot of users of this product, and most of them don't care, and I'm generally on board with them. I don't think it's that big of a deal, and if I hadn't have used so many other products that are a little bit faster, it really wouldn't bother me too much. But every time I've been using this for a while and I switch over to the SkyTrak, I'm like, oh yeah, there is that little bit of a delay. That is kind of annoying. But after I've used it for a half hour, 45 minutes, then I forget all about the other ones, and it really isn't a big deal. So the Mevo Plus gets the nod on responsiveness, but this is one of those categories I don't think is going to be that big of a deal for most people. Okay, next category, and this is an important one, is fun. Which one is more fun to use? And honestly, I'm going to give the nod to the SkyTrak on this one. It is just really enjoyable because it has that sexy, sleek, modern app interface, and the fact that it has challenge modes, it has modes that are genuinely useful, like the bag mapping, like the wedge matrix, like the closest to the pin challenge, all of those things. It just is enjoyable to use. And the fact it's so easy to set up to the network, it's so easy to align, you don't have to really spend a whole lot of time fumbling around and testing and moving and adjusting. You just set it up, you start hitting your balls, you pick the mode you want to go, and it just works. And so it's fun to use. Don't get me wrong, the Mevo Plus, also very fun to use, and the fact it is so much more flexible with other simulator options and portability and things like that, it makes it really enjoyable as well. But when I'm comparing it to this, I do just find myself enjoying this just a little bit more. So for that reason, SkyTrak Plus gets the points for fun. Finally, the last category is personal affinity. Which of these two products do I like more and would I go out and buy today with my own money? The answer is the Mevo Plus. So you might be wondering, I just went off and I just talked about how this is more fun to use, more enjoyable. And honestly, I still think that's true. But when it comes to the full package, when you look at the price, when you look at all of the metrics and all the features you get when you've got the Pro package and the impact detection and everything, when you look at the simulator compatibility, when you look at the portability and the fact I can easily set it up at home, I can set it up in the backyard, I can set it up at the range, when you factor all of those things in, I just find myself gravitating towards this one. When you want to customize what you're looking at with your metrics in the app, you can really do that, and you can go super in-depth and super granular with how information is displayed in a way you just can't quite do with the SkyTrak. So for all of those reasons, this is the one I keep coming back to. When I'm personally practicing, when I've got most of my personal data, I'm not reviewing launch monitors, all of that is in the Mevo Plus. Do I think this is absolutely 100% the better product? No, not necessarily. We've been talking about all of these categories, but as you could probably imagine, not all of these categories are created equal. There could be one category that is the biggest deal breaker for you and none of the other ones matter. So you should take all of that into account when you are deciding which one you should buy. I think both of these are equally as good to each other. I just think for my purposes, the fact this is so flexible and there's no subscription fee, that just kind of tips it in my favor for what I need. So with all of that in mind, there is not a bad choice. Both of these are phenomenal. They're excellent. If you're leaning towards one and there's one you think is better for you, I would 100% say go get it, because these are my two favorite launch monitors on the market, period. So if there's one of these that you're leaning towards, I'm not gonna try and sway you. I think you should go and get that one, because regardless of which one you get, these are my two favorite launch monitors on the market. And honestly, it's not even that close. They're both great. With that, my name is Sean Ogle. I am the founder of this thing here at Breaking 80, where we do cool golf product reviews and golf course reviews. If you got some value out of this, maybe thumbs up, drop a comment, subscribe perhaps. And if you're still not sure which launch monitor is for you, remember I got that quiz. It's gonna take you 20 or 30 seconds. You're gonna answer like 4 or 5 questions. I'm going to then give you my best recommendation for which launch monitor is best for your needs. So go check that out at the link below. And with that, I hope you have an excellent day, and I hope to see you on our next video. Peace.